us a brief overview of Arcadia Minerals?
Yes, Arcadia Minerals is a diversified exploration company that is exploring for a number of metals that are currently high in demand with respect to the battery metals revolution, if you want to call it that. And it has a three-pillar strategy that it follows. Firstly, it relies on a cash generator as the first pillar, which we believe is the Swanson-Projekt. That will then provide us the capital for exploration if it is successful. Then secondly, we then look at a number of projects that are potentially company transforming. What do I mean by company transforming? It is projects that once a discovery is made, and if it is made, then that will change the fortunes of the company significantly. It could mean going from a market cap of $25 million to $250 million within a matter of months. And that's the second pillar. And then the third pillar is the human capital. And that is the people that's involved, people that has got experience in doing exploration, people that have got the ability to generate new projects, and people that most importantly have the ability to implement our exploration strategy and to bring every dollar or euro that's being spent through the company that goes optimally into the ground and that yields the best possible results, if possible, for the company.
Please briefly introduce us to Arcadia Minerals' most promising projects.
The most promising projects are, firstly, the Swanson-Projekt, which is the cash generator. It's not going to be a large project if it comes off. The intention there is that it produces a concentrate, 25% tantalum concentrate that we can sell to generate the cash. And then that would then form the backbone of the cash pop component of Arcadia. Then we have the exploration projects, which the first one I would want to mention is the Bitterwasser-Lithium-Projekt. Bitterwasser, as you know, means brine water. When the farmers arrived there in that area, the German farmers, probably in the 1880s, they drilled for water, and the water was saline or bitter, and they couldn't use it. But that then points again to something else, which is the potential for lithium content. We know there are lithium in the clays on the surface, and that then conforms to a number of factors, which we can talk a bit later about. But most importantly, we believe that the Bitterwasser-Projekt has got the potential to be the next lithium province of the world. So, and it could possibly transform the company's fortunes completely. Then secondly, we have the Kumn-Kum-Nickelprojekt. There we have an intrusion, a mafic intrusion, where we believe there are either massive sulfide nickel prevalences or PGE disseminated nickel prevalences. Geologically speaking, it conforms with the basic characteristics of such a intrusion. We can see everything is there. There are also significantly elevated results on previous drilling done in the 70s and the 80s by Rio Tinto and Falconbridge. And we think that if a discovery is made there, it could also be something that could transform the company's fortunes. And then lastly, but not least, there's the Karibib-Kupferprojekt, which lies within a prospective copper-gold belt, where there are existing mines and where there are an existing exploration project that has made a discovery recently by other companies, not by us. We are in the same geological environment, and we have seen elevated values in sampling that we've done in the area, and our geophysical survey has shown that there's a structure there We haven't drilled it. It has never been drilled, and we believe that that could possibly also be something of significance for the company.
Why is Arcadia Minerals focusing primarily on battery metals?
Well, battery metals are obviously very in vogue now and has been for a very long time. For the last 2 years, we didn't specifically, when you explore, you would look for something specifically, and so there's a larger element of us looking for lithium, looking for copper, looking for nickel. But the tantalum, for instance, the Swanson project, we went to Tantalite Valley to look for lithium, and lo and behold, we found tantalum because it's in Tantalite Valley. So it's not always a case of trying to find something very specific. You stumble over things. That's the nature of exploration. But because these metals are so pertinent to the future, we believe that those metals, notably lithium and nickel and copper, would be in an elevated market for some time. And that then lends us the market conditions which an exploration company needs. If a metal like coal, for instance, currently now, if you're going to explore for coal, you're not going to find money to explore for coal. But if you explore for lithium or for tantalum or for other battery metals, then your likelihood of finding good money to do that is much better.
The Swanson-Tantal-Projekt promises early cash flows. What is Arcadia's timetable here?
Yes, it promises indeed early cash flows. We're not there yet. We still have to prepare a feasibility study, which we hope to complete around Q2 next year. We have already applied for a mining license, and we expect that to be granted next year, early next year. We've completed environmental and heritage specialist studies for the purpose of the mining license that we have already received. And then we then also expect to do some work around resolving the water supply to the mine. It's an arid area. It would need more water, and that we expect early next year as well. A reserve update soon after we've done our drilling, or at least a resource update that can be converted into a reserve. The drilling is ongoing. We expect to finish that off by the end of the year, and then bring out that reserve update early next year. So the metallurgical test work is underway. That is to prove that the tantalum concentrate can be produced, the 25% concentrate can be produced. That's ongoing, and that will also be released very shortly. Then we intend to conclude offtake agreements very early next year, and then also make some announcements shortly thereafter on project financing regarding the infrastructure development and the construction of that. And then if all goes well, and the construction goes well, and our timetables are fulfilled, as we've seen in the past, it's not always easy. I mean, in my past, in Philip's past, bringing things to production doesn't always happen the way you want it. But then if it does happen, then by Q2 2023, we'll be in production.
What is the composition of Arcadia Minerals board? What expertise is represented here?
Yes, the board is quite diverse in the sense that besides Philip and I, who are seasoned explorers, have taken projects from exploration into discovery, into development, into production. The rest of the board consists of a mining engineer. His name is Andrew Law, who's done exactly the same kind of thing all over the world. He's worked for Anglo American, Placid Dome, has been involved with smaller companies, Optiro Limited, where he has been able to bring similar projects then than that of Arcadia Swanson-Projekt into production. So he's very valuable to us. These mining engineering skills helps a lot. He's got 35 years experience in that. Then Michael Davey, who is a resident director in Perth. He has got years of experience with the ASX. He takes care of our investor relations, our corporate affairs in Perth. He liaises with the brokers. He liaises with the investors. He's a integral part of that, and he's got the ability to raise funding, which we would not have been able to do without his inputs. Then lastly, but not also, once again, not least, Johan Leroux. He is a miner. He is from a company called SPH Kundalila, which is part of the JSE listed Rabex Group. The Rabex Group is about a $600 million JSE listed company that owns about 20% of Arcadia, and they have invested quite an amount of money into the company that allowed us, from seed capital point of view, to do what we are doing right now, and then also participated in the IPO, of course. And Johan's company, or the company that he works with, SPH, they mine about 3 million tons of ore per month. They know everything about mining, and they are our partners on that front as well. So we've got a team that is well spread on the abilities that one would need to bring a company, both from an exploration point of view and from a mining point of view, into production.
What is Arcadia's financial position?
We listed in June, raised $6.4 million. We have approximately $5 million left in the bank in this last quarter. So we are well set to continue our exploration work and to be able to do what we have to do.
So Arcadia recently went public on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. What are the motives behind this listing on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange?
It's firstly to get into touch with a market that's very much aware of, more so than many other markets, of the importance of changing our habits with respect to how we live our lives, and that is more particularly reducing our carbon footprints, getting into green metals, making sure that the machinery that we use reduces our impact on the environment, and for that we need these green metals, despite the fact that I hear that some people are saying that we should stop mining. I don't know where the lithium will be coming from if we stop mining, but we need to have those green metals, and I think the Frankfurt Exchange has got a number of shareholders who understands that and appreciates that more so than other places in the world. And then, or secondly, there's also an affinity to some extent for some people, maybe not for others, in Germany with Namibia. They have traveled there, they've seen it, they know how beautiful it is, and 12% of the population speaks German in Namibia. So there might be some connection there with that, with Namibia, and an understanding of the place.